Welcome, guys. How's it going? Just want to double check all my monitors and stuff were on and running. How are you all on this fine whacked out Wednesday? I had a bit of a odd morning. Um, Before I get too far into it, I just want to share some of my links. So I have my Discord, my socials, and in case anybody's wondering, I have my wellness coach socials up as well. Uh, so it seems to be a bit. There you go. Seeing if maybe this is a little bit better, even though it looks kind of washed out still. Um, Here we go. I'm gonna get into editing my stuff again. Cancel. Come on, get out of there. Um, Filters. There we go. Chroma key. Um, just have to see. I have to see what makes me more like flesh toned without like burning my eyeballs out. I feel like this light isn't exactly the greatest when it comes to that, but I'm moving my head out of my own way. Let's see. Um, Makes me look very dark. Well, that's fine right there. I think that's good enough without being like crazy brightness. This is also getting a little bit worse. I feel like that fell a little bit at some point or something, but that's fine for now. So yeah, so I have had my own version of Whacked Out Wednesday. Starting this morning, my wife was a little upset about some things with her car situation that's going on. We were leasing a car, and you know, throughout COVID and throughout all the stuff that we've been trying to do, like our credit's not that perfect and whatever, and it's not as great as anybody would think it would normally be. But it's not horrible either. And just everybody's being such a pain in the ass about offering up like good prices or working with us on stuff, and we're kind of at a time limit with the lease because her job is very far away, so we can't like put a ton of miles on it, and we have to kind of get her into something soon, obviously. So she's just been very stressed out about that. It happens every time we go to get a car. She freaks out about it, and it becomes a very stressful situation, which is understanding. It's very anxiety inducing, Um, so it started me on this negative spiral this morning because it was the first thing that I woke up to. I made the mistake of like waking up and kind of checking my phone, which I like have promised myself that I'm going to stop doing, and I really need to. So I woke up and I checked my phone, and that was the first message that I saw. And in my mind, I go to fix it mode, like I try to immediately like offer something that's going to help, or, something like that. And what happens is that usually rarely helps. And it's not for anything of mine. It's mostly because, sometimes when people want help, they don't want you to help. They do, but they don't. And sometimes, it doesn't, like, sometimes they just need you to listen, and that's fine. And in a situation like ours, like, she tends to go into these modes where she needs to hear something, like very much in her face, but then she instantly fights against it. And that's kind of how she um processes things. And it's how some people just do it, I guess. But I kind of was getting into this feeling, this like downward cycle that I get into once in a while, where I felt like I wasn't being helpful. I felt like I was making the situation worse, and that negative energy seemed to bring out, just frustration with in my kids, with my kids, just being loud, extra energy. And there was a situation where like one of the toilets wasn't working properly, and just a whole bunch of stuff going on at once. So as I said before, like putting a certain energy out into the universe, you see it back. You get it back to you, and that's what I was seeing this morning. And at one point, it didn't mean to become this big thing. I basically just, she had realized one of her options would not be something that she likes. She realized that she might have to try to buy out the car that she owns now. And I said, well, maybe this is a good situation. Maybe this is a thing where, instead of trying to look at it negatively, I offered up that it might be, a situation for now. This is the car that this is the thing that you've been driving. You know how it is. You're in the car. You're with it. You're in tune with it. You know what is wrong with it. You know what is right with it, and you know what's going on with it. There's no surprises, because the other option was to buy used, and I've had really bad luck with used cars. Some people haven't, and that's just what it is. She may not. So my point was mainly that, even though this is not the ideal situation, it might be a good situation for what's going on now. And she had reviewed the option that we might be able to buy the car and then sell it back to the dealer for more than it's worth. And that's kind of what I wanted to reinforce, was that type of thing. But she goes into like immediate defense mode a lot, and sometimes it just happens with people when they're so used to being opposed and so used to being what's the word, not defensive, but when they're so used to having to stand their ground and fight for themselves and stand up for themselves for whatever reason, that tends to be their go-to. And it is a very defensive thing to do, and it seems to be a very defensive thing, but it can also be destructive too in some ways, not only to the person who's doing it, but to those who are trying to help you. It's very much like the thing where you hear people saying, "Oh, I don't need anybody else. I'm living my life. I don't need anything." And that's great, but generally you hear that so harshly expressed by people who are really just looking for love, right? They're looking for a love that they can trust, and they're scared to put themselves out there because they've been burned so much, or they've had negative experiences. And it's understandable why that happens. But it's a way of building a wall, and that wall is very hard to break down. So, we kind of got into this discussion about it, and it brought out some feelings that I go through all the time, not just with her, but like in the situation that I'm living in with my in-laws, and them being so ill, and them, I have to separate myself a lot from what's going on in the background. When my father-in-law first got his transplant, I was consulting with his nutritionist, and being that I am a nutrition coach, I was consulting with his dietitian, his nutritionist, to help him at home. And, I've never made the effort to be overbearing or anything like that. He would pretty much just check in with me at the meals, say, "Hey, is everything good like this? It seems I got this, I got this, I got this. Is everything okay?" And that was working for a while. And he's the type who is also like her. If you give it too much, he fights back hard. And this is the reason why my training has said, not to coach those who are close to you, because those who are close to you see you in a different light. And it goes with everything. If you try to coach, your family members in sports, or if you try to give somebody advice when they're not ready to hear it, you're going to talk to them in a certain way, and they're going to hear you in a certain way. So, there was a lot of issues with that, and he went complete 180 and went the opposite direction, and just, it burned me out because I was being supportive, and I was being helpful, and I was being on his side and not being pushy, and I took a lot of pride in that. And my mother-in-law with facing a lot of her health issues as well. She everything from cancer and how to avoid it, what could help her change her diet, and they were all just suggestions that I made. But they're stuck in their ways, and I've come to respect that about them. It's just distancing myself when they ask for help, because I know that they won't reciprocate that, and I know that they won't appreciate the help that I give them in the way that they'll follow through with it. You know what I mean? So, not to say I don't think it's worth my time, but I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I expect something, or I give advice with love, um, but I find it hard for me to distance myself from, especially in the personal situations, from others who don't take that advice or don't listen or show me that they appreciate that advice. You know what I mean? And I know how it sounds. It sounds like it's a lot about me, but in a way it is. In a way it's kind of like, listen, if I am a professional, I should be respected in this manner. But also, I feel like I don't know how to convey that to others in terms of them. Now, I've helped a bunch of people on the side, on the professional side, or I've helped a bunch of my coworkers, I've helped a bunch of my friends, things like that. That's all been well and good. Like I've seen a lot of progress from that, and I've been seeing progress from that. But it's just in these very close scenarios where, like, even my own mother, to a certain degree, she has diverticulitis. So, in reviewing things about her health and her digestion and things like that, and then whether or not I push it or pull it or just say it and walk away, like that type of thing, it ends up turning around to me being disappointed. That they weren't listening, they didn't do things like that, and it's a matter of how people hear it, and it's a matter of how I say things, and it's a matter of our relationship. And like I said, it's one thing that it was one of the very first things that I was taught in my curriculum, is that is not to coach people who you're close with, because of that, because automatically it becomes a different situation, right? You're too close to it. And that's the same thing why um, my mother-in-law is a speech pathologist, and my middle son Philip, he has issues with his speech, and she had offered to provide him speech services, and me and my wife had agreed that it wouldn't be appropriate. We said, listen, we appreciate everything, and we will take your advice, and we still do. We listen to when she has tidbits of information or whatever, but we said, just for you, we don't think that that would be an appropriate situation. Why? Because you're living with it. You're hearing it 24/7. Your job is now becoming your life, right? And when it's a passion, it's different. But, she comes home burnt out from work every single day, and then she hears my son having speech issues and speech problems and things like that, and she wants to go out of her way to help, but sometimes she's just too tired. Sometimes she gets mixed up in the health stuff that her and her husband are going through, and those are part of the reasons why we said, listen, we'll hold off. So, to wrap this long situation around, um, sometimes I get into these spurts where I get into spirals, like something can set off my emotions, something can set off my thought process, and it happens very quickly, especially having like an ADHD mind, because on the average, we have 6,000 thoughts every second. You know what I mean? Maybe not that dramatic for some, maybe yes, that dramatic for some, but it's very quick and it happens very, very fast. And sometimes it's just hard to get ahead of. So what I did this morning was I just texted her back and I told her, I'm going to stop texting. I'm spiraling. So I'm going to take a little bit, And um it was a situation that turned from me trying to support her into me blowing everything up about imposter syndrome, about feeling fake about everything, about, just regular stresses that everybody in my position goes through when you're trying to start businesses, when you're trying to start professions, trying to get out there and get more known and, things like that. And, it was I broke down and cried at one point, and I was very just upset and thinking things through. And she even texted me. She said, I just want to let you know it's me. It was me. Because she was like, you haven't done anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. You were just trying to support me. And I apologize. It was how I was saying things in text messages that, kind of got things confused. And, she was very like apologetic for it. And I said, it's not that. It's just all these other things that are circulating in my mind. And on top of that, then I felt like I couldn't help you, and that's what kind of flushed everything down, And it was very relieving to see that. And we did talk about it like on the phone, and we came to agreements that like we shouldn't be texting about stuff like this. We should be talking about it. So, and even in everyday conversations, sometimes things can get miffed up in text. So we discussed it, we talked about it, and she has a deeper understanding of where my brain's been at, and I have a deeper understanding of like how she interprets things, And just to give you some quick background, like I've come a long way from where I used to be. Like, say, even from when my son was born. My son is 6.5 years old now, my oldest son. And before that, like I used to be very, here's your problem, fix it. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's go fix it. Let's blah, blah, blah. And now I've become very like, listen, I'm not trying to violate your space. I'm not trying to interrupt what you're saying. I'm not trying to go against what you're saying. I feel how you feel. I validate your feelings and I understand what's going on. I just wanted to suggest something, and I'm still cultivating that, And it's impossible to do it perfectly for everybody. And in the vast majority of everybody else, like the way I talk and the way I deal with things has been very helpful to a lot of people. It's just in particular to my wife and her family, that's not how they understand information very well. They tend to go on the defensive. They tend to be deflectors rather than absorb the information and listen to what you're saying, So there's a different way to go about that. So irrelevant to that entirely long story, I just wanted to touch on some points today that I think would be really helpful, especially for Whacked Out Wednesday. If you're feeling whacked out, if you're feeling bugged out at all, if you're going through situations of your own, understand that first and foremost, it may not be about you. And that's what I do have a hard time understanding that, because I'm very empathetic. Like when people talk about empaths, folks with ADHD tend to be very extremely empathetic. Why? Because we've had to teach ourselves to relate to people on a very deep level, and most of the time get to know people before they know themselves. And sometimes people aren't ready for that, So, but we take on emotions like they're our own, and sometimes we magnify them to an umpteenth level, And so we have to understand that, um, it's not always about you. Sometimes, and it takes a while to learn that disconnection from this is you, this is me, and we're feeling different things. Even though I'm being empathetic, I don't have to live that feeling, Um, but you also have the right to be in whatever mood that you're in. You have the right to express yourself. You have the right to be an asshole for no reason. You have the right to be sad for no reason. Angry, depressed, upset. You have those rights, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes people go through things. Professionals go through things. Therapists feel like they're crazy sometimes, and doctors get sick. You know what I mean? There's a whole spectrum of things I could go through, but you are allowed to feel how you feel. The one thing that I would recommend with that, though, is one, not to ignore it, and two, do something about it. And it sounds easy, but I don't mean it how you're hearing it most likely. I mean, do something about it as so instead of sitting in and kind of wallowing in your emotions, sit with yourself. Sit with yourself and try to just think through things. And sometimes it's not easy, but you try to just think through what's going on and like kind of let it happen to you is how I think of it sometimes. When I'm so tired and exhausted and upset about something, sometimes I sit back and I'm just like, go, you know, because I have to allow myself to feel that. I'm so used to backing off my own emotions and fighting off how I feel and putting my own self to the side that is one step towards me really becoming better within myself and really understanding what I feel, what I'm going through, what's happening. And I think it's very important and it's a key to being able to be with yourself. Um, so I feel that as though in that way, you can get a better look at what's going on. And even if you are mad at somebody, whether or not it's validated or whether or not you feel it's validated or whether or not you're sad or whatever you're feeling, you can find ways to express it. And like, you don't have to just sit there as in like literally sitting there in a dark room, just going through your mind, because sometimes that's not healthy. But what you can do is do something that you enjoy. Play a video game, play something, not that's going to fully distract you from what's going on, but something draw, write, do something like that. Do music, let your feelings flow through that. You know what I mean? Play video games, play a shooter. If you're pissed off, blow some heads off. Do that. And then while you're doing that, be present. Be present in the moment. Like, wow, is this situation really worth me getting this upset about? Do I really feel like this? Why am I interpreting this feeling this way? Why am I doing this? If you're feeling sad, if you're whatever, write, make music, even if it's just a couple of sounds or beats or whatever, draw, whatever you can do it. And I think through that process, through just having an outlet for it in some sort of way, no matter how small it feels, even if you're writing in an angry, pissed off journal or a sad journal, a depressing journal, whatever, even if you're just writing things out and you stop at some point and you're like, I feel ridiculous right now. I don't know. Like, what if somebody reads this or whatever? Like, if you have those feelings, then you're starting to come around to a more sensible point of view where you're realizing that you're back within your body. You're back feeling what you feel, but you're back within your body, and you're not so manic. You're becoming more rationalized. Don't worry about people reading your journals. I should just say that. That's a thought that pops into my mind, and it stops me from writing exactly what I feel, and I get over that. I literally, in that moment, I'll be like, okay, nobody's going to read my journal. Like, everything's fine, and I just write it out. And I even say, if they do, hey, this is legitimately how I felt in this moment. Even if this hurts somebody's feelings, or if this comes back to bite me, there was a reason why I wrote this in there. And if it's discovered, then it was meant to be discovered. Even though that's scary sometimes, but my point is, do something you like to do that you can express the emotion through, whether or not you think you can do it. Record a rant video. Record a sound clip of you screaming your head off if you're upset, or if you just need to let some energy out. Play a video of record a video of you crying, or like write something down of you crying if you're sad or depressed, and just let things flow 100% organically, naturally out of you, and you will feel better. You will feel a lot better. And if you feel ridiculous, it might be a situation where later on you're like, okay, I need to tone it down a little bit. But sometimes you also get a deeper insight into, okay, wait, like, I did feel ridiculous, but if I look back on this now, this being a couple of hours or days or weeks later, if I look back on this now, I kind of see a correlation. I understand why that happened, and that is what you're working towards. No matter how you feel right away or immediately after or whatever, that is what you're working towards. You're working towards a deeper understanding of what's going on. And I think I got that. I definitely got that for myself today. It wasn't necessarily something that I didn't know, but it was something that I needed to express. And I feel after my conversation with my wife, we have a deeper understanding with each other of communication and what she needs to do and what I need to do. And, I feel like altogether things just made sense after that. And it felt good. Excuse me. That was delicious. It's been a while since I had a watergasm. That's like where you like look at the water and sometimes you might think like, "Oh my god, yeah, I'm thirsty." But most of the time it hits while you're drinking. Like you take a sip and then you're like, "Yeah, whatever." Oh my god, this is delicious. Like I can't even explain it. It's just great. I love watergasms. They're the best thing ever. Um but yeah, and it was a learning experience for the both of us. And I think that's where, the feeling of enrichment or the feeling of accomplishment comes from is now she's more aware, I'm more aware. And it's a trend that's been happening a lot lately because, we've been under a lot of stress and, me and her have always been on such a great vibe. Since the day we met, we've always been so we've meshed perfectly. And we've been noticing like a disruption with that, with everything else that's been going on and things that we've been trying to do with our lives. It happens. It's bound to happen, and it's a natural thing. It comes with growth. There was a quote, I'm still looking for it. I need to find it. There was a quote that says, "Are you sure you want to be involved in spiritual awakening and growth? Are you sure you want to be more mindful?" Because there's a certain pain with that. And it's not a pain to be afraid of. It's a pain that comes with growth. It's literal growing pains where when you start to become deeper within yourself and notice your awareness of your surroundings and the universe about you and things like that, then there's a certain pain when others don't reach that level, or when you try to bring somebody with you and you realize that that relationship is gone now because you're on to something else. And it's just a natural flow of things. And me and her often have this symbiotic relationship, I'd say, where like we help each other. Like one of us will reach a level and then the other one is like, yeah, yeah, I need to be there. And it's a beautiful thing because we sort of constantly challenge each other to deepen our love and respect for ourselves and for each other through doing that. And the level of awareness we've approached or achieved since we've met is just it's brilliant. Like I can't even describe the feeling of it, being able to acknowledge that level of growth. And we're not done yet. Like we're nowhere near done growing and progressing and evolving, you know what I mean? Especially as a couple. Like we have so many levels to break through that it's insanity. And it just, I got a revitalized sense of like excitement from that and like, let's do this. So speaking of doing this, I think that we can get going on the visceral cleanup detail. I keep saying viscera cleanup detail. But before I do that, I do want to say, anybody hanging out in chat, anybody lurking in the background, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you guys being here and allowing me to share a piece of myself with you. Please feel free to join in the Discord, to type in chat, to hit me up on any of my socials, and show me a piece of you. And let's see, how we can learn and grow from each other. And that's really the goal behind my channel. Is to pick up information and learn and grow and progress as human beings and spiritual beings and people of vast practices and knowledge and things like that. Welcome. There you go. So now we're going to get into it. Viscera cleanup detail. I find this to be a very cool... hold on. I just missed a... The miracle of sound. Should we... Oh, no. It won't play. Will this play? Wait. That'll play. But will this play? Man. I was really hoping that it looked like a cool artist, and I was really hoping that they had stuff friendly for like mature and YouTube and Twitch, but they do not. So instead, let's do one of the instrumental channels. Why not? One of the background channels. Switch this up here. Game cat. Should come. I was going to say, there we go. All right. Which would you like to apply for? Start assignment. Let's go. Solo. So we did that one already. What happens if we start from that? It'll just start from where we were, right? None. Let's go none. So we're going to go through... Average length an hour and 30 minutes. We have to look for a kind of shorter one, unfortunately. Backwater chemistry. Let's see. Splatter station. Maybe waste disposal. Nope. That's an hour and 30 minutes. Let's do the ice moon. Let's do it. Occupation, sanitation engineer. This dreary research and storage facility has a long record of minor psychological incidents due to the isolation and cold, but even so, details regarding the events that decimate the facility are sketchy at best. An extraterrestrial organism is suspected to be involved. However, the junior recon team is certain it no longer poses a threat. Already, there are multiple conglomerates interested in acquiring the installation and collecting data once you have executed your sanitation duties. Work diligently and with speed, as the facility is expected to be swept over via orbital bio bomb to ensure security. Good day. A bio bomb. All right, so we have a health station right there. I see first and foremost. You stop it. There's my chest right there. All right. Just see what we got going on here. Okay. What is? Oh, that's the punch-out clock? Okay. Just want to make sure there's no... There's going to be a bunch of this stuff, I feel like. So we'll get that in a second. Where's the mop and bucket stuff? It doesn't look happy down here. This is the furnace. a moon-based furnace. Okay. There's crates. Oh, this is the this is the pickup bucket. I don't see a water station yet. Right here. Let's get to mopping. I say we go furthest from the furnace first. So that would be like down here. Is there like an ominous pit? Okay. Ooh, there's bombs. Am I supposed to de-wire these bombs? I think I have a little bit better of an idea of what to do in general now. Like what to do first. Hopefully I can get this done before it's time to go. You. I wonder what scene is this from? I didn't want that. Error. I don't know what that it looks like an alien life form. Oops. We're gonna bring this up. There we go. Get in there. Bring these one at a time. Nope. I wish you could hit your own feet with the mop so that you don't like waste a bunch of time and you can just clean it up. What is that? This was all the way on the other side, I know that. I'm gonna have to get another mop now. Biohazard stuff. Let me pick it up. There's that. This kind of reminds me of, what is it? Gears of War. That's the first vibe that I get from this. Alright, so we got these. We're gonna have to bring like 4 buckets down. We're gonna need a bunch of those. Stop walking through the blood. There's a lifter upper. Ooh, I almost dumped that. So now we know that the very next bucket we pull out is going to be a whatchamacallit? Is going to be a body part or something. So bring these down. Ugh. Did I just dump out all of them? Now I did.
Yeah.
Perfect. Man, okay. So, we're going to need that a lot sooner than we thought. These graphics are awfully killer. Okay. How about this? We only have these small ones, right? So let's start doing this instead. That's the welding gun. Wait, let's put this in our crate. Just making more and more footsteps, man. Oh, we got another welding gun. Look at that. Wonder if we were supposed to unpack it. Bring this down too. So we could really clean up all we want, but, you know. Unless we start getting like all these pieces out and stuff, then we're not really gonna make much progress either way. What's it say? His writings of the worst kind. English. JK. I just want to see what happens if we put this in a fire in the furnace. So next trip I'll bring down some buckets so that we can start mopping in the background there. All right. Well, there's that. Starting over. Right. Does it happen regardless of, like, how many, like, what bombs we have in there or whatever? I wonder if it just automatically kills us whenever we put a bomb in there. This is so far away. I wish we can have, like, pop-up stations. Ooh. Man, I thought I got it. Is it oh, I was like, is it glitching? Do have to be cautious that whenever I put this bucket down, it's gonna... Okay, let's try this again. Very gently. Yes. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my god. I was like, it's all gonna go downhill from here. So I want to not knock these over as much as possible. Where's the other bin? Put this right here, I guess. Okay. Bloody hell, again. I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to blow up the bombs, but also, what are you gonna do? We have a med kit, right? First aid supplies, solar flare, lanterns. Okay. We're definitely gonna need the first aid supplies. I saw those stations. Please hold on 1 second. Alright, keeping in mind the water bucket's right there. Try to do my damnedest to not knock it over. I know we're probably supposed to do something with these solar flares, but let's just put that away. I guarantee it wasn't supposed to be that. Man. Well, it took care of the bombs. Right? It's so loud. Yeah. I've been put in charge of cataloging the samples before storing them in the cryo fridge. It's truly amazing how much material there is in these specimens. I swear there wasn't this much matter when we took them out of the ice and thawed them. I'll store the samples as requested, but first I'll weigh every sample. When I'm done, I'll weigh them again and compare my results. If I'm right, this could be a huge breakthrough, enough even to perhaps silence Dr. Blair's constant self-righteousness. Cool. Stop it. Get away bomb. I'm not doing too well with those bombs. Alright, the big stuff's just gonna have to be carried up. I feel like that's the only real way to do that. Those bombs going off is really loud and obnoxious. Alright, my stuff to keep is going to be right there. Ugh. There's no easy work. No easy work to be done here. I really don't think there's an actual way to whatchamacallit, clean up those bombs. There might be, I don't know, but bring one of you while we're at it, just because. Kind of tired of traipsing through the same bloodstains. Maybe this should have been the first step. Clean going into the room, and then you don't have so much to clean up after you're done. You know? I think that's what I'll do from now on. Genius. Get out of my way. That's for crates, right? I haven't seen anything for barrels yet. There's so much blood. I feel like just when it's about to be enough. I don't know if you can do it in the game, but I wish you could unlock like better mops and stuff, because it seems to be kind of a lot for this one mop. Alright, and I know I'm traipsing more down here, but okay, now I'm hoping, since I cleared a little bit of a path, one kidney bowl should not be enough to knock this entire thing over. I don't know if that's considered like a... if that ball is considered like a crate that I need to keep. I didn't get penalized for it last time, so I'm guessing it's not bad. Getting there. We're getting there. We got a room done. Been like, what, 20 minutes? Okay. I I really want to clear like a solid path, honestly, so I can stop traipsing through this stuff. There's a bunch of little stuff here. Where's the organs? I don't see them. Okay. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. What does this do? I don't actually know what that does. Oh, you're a pair of legs. Dang. Okay. Watch out for that. I think there's one more use of that mop bucket. There's so many just random things that it's really difficult to have spatial awareness for. Like those barrels. I'm not going to be able to put anything else in that thing there, so... And as obnoxious as it might be, still clean up those little footprints everywhere. Oh man, I feel like these blood spots are like never ending. Ah. Are they ended? They are the ended. So let's pick up the bloodiest of things. Somewhere around here I have to start hopping. I remember that. We've got the one leg. I think it also very much matters where you actually pick up the parts from. Don't do it. Don't do it, me. Alright, you're a dirty, disgusting bucket. Let's make another stack of them and put them over in that corner. This one should be a... Nope. I thought it would be a body part. You jerk. Flat surface. I always think I got it, and then I just don't. This is a bloody, disastrous mess. Where are you? This, clean it up. No disasters here. except for whatever happened on this planet. You will walk slow. I'm not going to bring all these buckets down because I feel like that would be excessive. Do that. I'm pretty sure we just need... Ugh. Not that. Whatever. Pretty sure we need one of these anyway. Did I take that other disposal bin? I thought I did. I did not. This is where the stairs are what trip you up on this kind of stuff. The physics logic does not make much sense. It just doesn't. Okay, there's that, right? Right. Is that it? We don't have any more buckets down here. I think that is all the blood. Okay. Yeah, then we have this one down here. This thing. I don't see a spot down here for the barrels, so we're probably gonna have to bring all of them up. That's gonna be locked for a while, I feel like. All this stuff has to be brought up and thrown out. So we're just gonna kind of dump it at the top up here for now. Otherwise, we're going to take forever in this little room. I don't trust myself enough to carry these buckets of water up. So, I'm just going to do it like this. I'm still very much feeling my workout from yesterday, and I actually didn't work out today because like I was so just having like a rough mental time. I have like the ability that when I get so mad or when I get so upset, like it literally can, depending on how hard and how fast like I spiral, it can get like crazy draining for me. It's like I'm supercharged on emotion and just, you know, have a really hard time coming down from it. So what I did was I actually just rested this afternoon instead of doing my workout. And I'm thankful that I did. And I'm kind of thinking that it's probably going to come to me working out like in the evening at some point, whenever I get the chance. Just because I was so like out of it, I was like, if I don't rest, I'm not going to be aware enough. I'm not going to be awake enough to like provide a good, you know, stream content and you know, be with that kind of stuff. So I was just like, man, I was just focused on having to do what I got to do, you know, and it felt good. Felt good to take that time. I wanted to nap, but I didn't really nap If I did, it was for like a couple of minutes, and that was pretty much it. But yeah, it was good, productive time for myself. You know, good, productive, unproductive time. And I was able to get some of my studies in. Last night, something was up where I, like, not like I was sick or whatever, but like I didn't stream, so I was going to study up and do some courses and things like that, and you know, get my learn on a little bit and do some business planning and things like that. And I literally, like, at one point last night, I think around like 8:30, I want to say, I was just so tired, and I was like, wow, maybe this whole situation that, like, I wanted to kind of take, you know, my second stream nights off and whatever, like, maybe that is, like, there was something way, like, maybe I need to rest more, or maybe I need to give myself more time, you know. It was just good to feel and understand that, you know. But hopefully, it's also like my sleep was very off for a couple of weeks. It's my son's birthday coming up on the 21st, so like my sleep's gonna kind of be off from that, you know, because it's on Saturday, so we're having all of his, you know, his classmates and his friends over and stuff. So my sleep's gonna be off from that and that kind of stuff. So it's just, you know, I guess it's in mental preparation of getting ready for everything coming up. Which I'm going to have to call this in about 20 minutes or so. I'm going to have to pick my son up from school. Let's see. Sorry, I just got a text from my wife. I wanted to see how everything was going. Yeah, so all of his friends from school are going to be there. I got to pick up my son from school in a couple of hours. Couple of minutes, not hours. And continue on with my day. I was thinking about doing a stream later tonight, but I got to almost break myself from it, because I understand how they say that streaming can become like an addictive kind of thing, and I do want to grow my stream. I do want to, you know, grow my stream and my community and things like that, and just right now I really do have to focus on not just my stream. I have to focus on my business. I have to focus on the community stuff, you know, not just things that are happening on screen, but also the behind the scenes stuff, and really focus on what's going on with that, you know, so that I can provide more time for stream time and have a lot more fun and you know, have more time to contribute to it. So yeah, it's gonna be some more learning stuff tonight, some more business related stuff. And also opening up time for like coaching calls and doing that stuff, you know, getting ready for that kind of good stuff. And if you do want to check out any of my coaching services, I threw my links up before, but it's Balancing Vitality LLC at Instagram and Facebook. It's Balancing Vitality BAL Vitality LLC at Twitter, and my website is balancingvitality.com. So if you want to check out any of my programs or any of my services, please feel free to hit me up on those. I do have to say that even if you don't find a program that's immediately looking good to you for any particular reason, don't forget to get in touch with me. And the only reason I say that is because I might be able to come up with something that suits you a little better. And I'm coming up with some alternative programs as well, some group programs, some stuff like that are going to be in the works very shortly. So feel free to hit me up for any reason. I'm very approachable. I'm not, you know, a sales-driven type of person. Even though it is my career, you know, it's about helping more than it is about making tons of money. So hit me up on those. Let me know if there's anything that I can help you with. And if not, that's fine. Enjoy. I hope you have a good time. Oops. I think replacing items is what I'm going to do very last, because it requires the least amount of mental energy. I thought that was just like a... Right, so that's this. We'll put this stuff over here, out of the way. Primary objective, rescue any remaining employees and secure the samples. Secondary objective, reduce whiskey intake. Nice. Contact with Arctic Institute based on the Ice Moon. Galileo 5 has been lost. We're sending you down to secure their investment and rescue anyone still alive. Make your way to storage rooms and collect any viable samples. We're being paid good money for this operation, so make sure the samples are intact. Just grab whatever looks important and get out. Good luck. It's usually not the best way to end something, but whatever, bro. I don't know if we need to keep these, but I like to. Keep a good running record of what's been happening. Both my kids are up and playing in their rooms. I forgot that shift wasn't run for a second. Yeah, then let's clean out this tub. Oh, man. There's a lot of big stuff up in here. I'm gonna need to use the lift or what? Hold on one second. Sorry about that. It's not like letting me move these, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do to get those out, really. So let's move what we can, and then we'll figure out what we can't. So... where's this thing? I feel like I'm gonna need this to get into this little thing down here. Be careful. still. I was like, that's not going to fit, is it? Alright, well, we can at least get this out. Did for a second. That was weird. It said I had a text message, and then I looked at the scroll down screen and it didn't show a text message, and then when I held my hand on it, it showed a text message. So I don't know what that was about, but there was no text message. Nope. This really does remind me of there we go again, Gears of War. Gears of War. I don't want that. Saw you. This is company standard, sir. So many brains. Can I glitch you? Can I glitch you? I was really afraid it was going to dump that whole container over. Whoa. So we're going to get some stuff out of this room. And then it's going to be time for me to get it going. Well, dang. Let's take this up with me. That's what I didn't want to do, was right there, sir. They need bigger boxes. They for real need bigger boxes. Aurora. Almost walked right in it. Let's bring you down. I have a feeling like the more like footprints you pick up, like I don't know what the pickup rate is for like the mop and stuff like that, but I feel like footprints register just as much as like blood spots and such. That's that. We got all that stuff done, right? Cool. We can bring this up. That looks like that's all empty. There's no way I can get that out, so that looks like that's all empty. This can be brought up. Don't. Do not spill it. It makes it so challenging how close you hold it. I don't know why, but I always feel like it should be like way further away than it is, so that you can like see like what's in front of you on the floor and stuff. Oh, I was like, please don't. That's clean. Okay. Keep thinking those stairs are a hot mess too. Looking at you, Spot. Let's bring you up. Get you out of this areas. It's fine right there. Bring you up. Hope there's nothing fragile. Nothing fragile. Are we sure I got everything? Are we sure? I wonder if, like, social medias and stuff are just like, hey, I know he's streaming. Let's send him all the notifications now. I thought about that for a quick minute. I was like, wait. Just take this crud. I don't think anything else needs to be brought. I keep thinking that there's a level in between here and there. But I also remember that. Yep. Dr. Richard Carpenter. He's the doctor for wood. Alright. So let's go. Paper. What the hell is going on? One employee after another is turning up dead, and I can hardly cope with the situation. Some people are suggesting the specimens are somehow responsible. I'm not taking any chances. That's why I'm going to insist everybody's blood be screened for possible pathogens immediately. Kurt Knowles. From Nolan. I also don't know if that stuff you should like burn. Like what collectibles? Oh my god. What collectibles did I bring from last time? I wonder. Tis a cup. These damn messy scientists. What's this? Tis paper. Right, that's it? That's it? That's it? Okay. Is that it? Yeah, I don't see anything else. Alright. Maybe we should do this nuclear infestation. Just bring all this stuff over now. So that next time we play, when we have to go in that other room, we don't have to bring a ton of crap. Bring this over here. I love how, like, when you go to pick something up, he's like, yeah. You will stop. I wonder if they built Easter eggs into the game where, like, you set off flares or something and, like, a spaceship comes. That's a definite full-on body, isn't it? I'm just laughing at me taking such joy in playing this game that is about picking up body parts and, you know, alien like stuff and whatever. I don't know. I just think it's so funny because, like, if like Okay, so there's a Marvel Comics series called oh crap, what was it? I have the book. It's called it's I forgot what it was called, but it's basically taking on the perspective of the Marvel universe from like the everyday person, and like the things you don't think of, like even the random person who like you wouldn't think of it, but when they go through an entire building or like crash through somebody's apartment, you know, like to for that person, you have insurance expenses and you have all this other stuff that you have to deal with that they don't really touch on in superhero movies and films, you know. So like that's the perspective that the stories were told from, is like, oh, why they're not heroes, because they trash our cities and they blow up buildings and they do this stuff. And you know, it was just funny to read how, like, you know, families are hurting because, like, you know, you can't pay off your car that a superhero bashed an enemy through or something like that. And it's just stuff you don't think of with superhero movies, but I found it very I don't know, awakening, I want to say, or like, you know, I found it to be like that, like a mindful type of thing, because like you're like, wow, even something like that, like somebody's thought of how other people, you know, deal with those situations or have to, you know, whatever. And I was like, I just thought it was very interesting. So that's what this game makes me think of, is like, you don't think of the cleanup that comes with, you know, beating an alien race and having a shootout with a ton of people, you know what I mean? And I love the novelty of that. That's my favorite part of this game. Even though the physics are ridiculous. That I will never argue. Hold on 1 second again. I apologize. Actually, no. Let me finish this up, because it's almost time to get going for me. Gotta be very careful. Don't. Ah. We overfilled it. Hold on 1 second. So, finish picking these up. Sorry, I keep getting updates from my wife on what's going on at the car dealership and going on with that kind of stuff. She's always so anxious, so I just want to make sure that I take the time to support her, give her what she needs, you know, be aware of what's going on. Yeah, so I would have normally gone with her, but we would have had to end up taking like all of our kids, and that's just even worse for somebody with anxieties and issues like that to have kids like tromping around and doing that stuff. Like, I do pretty well with that, but and you know, I can tell you from experience, you think it would help you get the better car deal, it will not. Those guys are so well trained, and that in like, oh, the parents are just gonna get stressed out and then they'll do whatever it takes to leave, like that kind of thing. We've seen it now 3 separate times where like we're like, oh, now we just don't even want to bring the kids because it's not gonna do anything. You know, the kids are not gonna, they're gonna just be there to add noise and put pressure on. And that's not to down talk them as kids. It's just like, you know, don't add unnecessary stress to your whole adventure. Just don't do it. That one, right? Okay. Aw. I forgot Georgie right there popped out. That's this one. And I think that's all I'm going to do for today, unfortunately. Fortunately. Okay, that's good enough. Just so I don't keep tromping through it, you know. We'll, burn this stuff. And then we'll honestly probably start with cleaning this stuff up. Let's just grab this dude. Get him out the way. And you. I see you, just waiting to cause trouble. I don't know where I'm going to start from either, and I don't want to have to, like, traipse through blood and guts and all that. I don't know who would, frankly. Maybe some. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I know mops. And this one mop will not handle all that blood. Okay. Ugh. You're a jerk. I'm gonna get one more mop bucket. Just because I have to clean that up. And a body part's going to come out, watch. Clean up some of this. Some of this disaster. Cool. And then we have kind of like the path to the next area cleaned up a little bit. I'm definitely, when I come back, I'm definitely going from top down. I'm not starting from the back. That sucked. We're doing a whole lot of mopping today, guys. All right. And with that, there we go. We're going to clean this off. Pick this up. Dump this in here. Close this. Leave it open. Who cares? And we are going to save it right there. Save game again. Yes. And we're going to get going. I have to bring my kids to pick up my son. Listen, guys, I know it was a short stream today, but I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out on this Whacked Out Wednesday. I hope that you find yourselves having a great rest of the week. Whatever the beginning of the week was like, it's in the past. Now it's time to either grow from that, learn from that, move on from that, or expand on that and have a better weekend. Have a better end of the week. That's pretty much it, guys. Enjoy. Have a good night. You are worth it. Every bit of energy you put towards your goals is worth it. Enjoy. Thank you for being here.